Hey friends, in the previous video, we learned how to validate the user input through the reactive forms in Angular. In this video, we are going to talk about how we can create the dynamic forms in Angular. So for that, we will go to the terminal and generate a new component like ng generate component dynamic form. So it has been created here. Now we will go into the HTML file. As you can see, this is dynamic form works. First of all, let's run our application ng serve -- open or just -- o. So here is no, it's not working because we haven't included inside our app component. So first let's comment this and we will say app dynamic song. So here you can see this working. So here we will take a form and we'll have two inputs like label for name. We'll take two inputs, name and email. Name, and then the input type will be text. The second will be, we'll copy this and just paste it here. And here we will say email. Copy this and paste. Here we will say email. And here we will copy this part and we will add the class form control here, which is bootstrap class. So these are a little bit beautier, so we can wrap it inside the bootstrap container. So these are good. First, let's take a nav bar here. Nav and class, maybe nav bar. We have and here we can see so here we can say like Angular. So this is Angular. Let's start it here and we will say list style 1. So BG body Cambridge. So it's good. So here we can say number expand and so now inside our TS file we have to have a form group. So we'll say dynamic form group of type form group, or we can say form builder. We can either use form builder or form group. So I'm using the form builder, and here let's implement the onInit lifecycle loop. We will learn about the lifecycle loops and later in our upcoming videos. So here we will say this dynamic form group is equal to, let's make the constructor private like form builder. We can form builder. Here we can say the form group is equal to this dot form builder dot group. So here we'll say dynamic controls. Now these are controls which are called the controls. Here we have one control, second control. So we'll say dynamic control is this dot form builder dot array of controls. So now let's make a getter for it, and we'll say dynamic controls. It will return the this dot dynamic function group dot get what is dynamic controls as form array. Why form array? Because it's an array of form controls we will be using here. So let's make a method to add a control like the dynamic control. We will make a button, and here we will have a button which will automatically create a form control like this. Add control. Here we'll say this dot dynamic control dot push, and here we can take cons control is equal to this dot form builder dot control, and here we'll say control. Let's also make the method for the remove control, and here we can say like we will remove the control by its index, so we will say index of type number. So we'll say this dot dynamic controls dot remove at index, and also make a method for saving the data. So here we will say this dot dynamic form group dot value. Let's you'll say data of type any, and here we can just log this data. So now we will go into our HTML file, and here we will say form group is equal to dynamic form group, and here we can wrap it inside our div. Not div, it will be ng content on. So here you'll say form array name is equal to what this will be the dynamic controls is the form array name. This is here. Now we can let's take an input, and here we'll say ng for, because we have to iterate, like create multiple controls, so you'll use the ng for. So here we'll say let control of dynamic controls control, and here we can say let or the index as I. So first we will make the button. Let's on the click we will say add control. console. Here we will say it will be the control name, and here we will say add control. Let's check whether it works or not. Let me type. Here you will say class btn primary, and here will be this. Let's get rid of these things because they don't. So we have just the button and we want dynamic form controls. So here we can also apply the form control class. So we want that when we click this, we should have an input like this one as here. So we'll click this. As you can see, this is the input which has been created, and we can apply the class here, and we will say empty5 like for margin. So here we will add that control that's not applied. So anyways, the controls are being created here, and we can just like breaks between inputs. So let's do this. Maybe we can like plus, and here we will say empty2, like the margin between the elements will be, or the inputs will be 2. So here the first control, the second control, the third control, and we can add as many controls as we want. So let me make also for removing it, and let's add another for like here we'll say this is for, and this is for email, and we can here take the name of the person, and here we'll say email. Why? So now we can also make the button for removing the controls. So here we'll say click remove control, and what will be the index? The index would be the index which is here. Yes, but it does not exist on the types. Okay. Hi is saying so. Index after like we can say any. No, it's not accepting that. So here we can say property I does not exist in the dynamic form component. Let me just it's not working. Why is that? So let me do this. Go to index. Still it's here, and let's do it here. Index. Try. Let I is equal to an index. Property I does not exist. So let me check with why is that working. So we can just control. Can say here quick fix, but No. We have the this dynamic control star remove at, and we are saying remove control at index this. But it's not accepting that. Let me do for do here. Still it's not getting. So we can here remove control in form array and anchor. Well, only the another thing is that Austin is remove a control.
Non-quantity reouts. There were no.
So here we'll say
Lady.
totally down. Scott. It's not here.
Some changes in the days that are asking.
So here we have don't. What?
Well, that's not.
So here we can say on. Let's take this. Copy this. Let me just copy these things. And here we can just this dynamic form group dot get the dynamic controls as form array, and let's make it remove the control. Here we can get rid of this, and here we'll say remove the element, and let's say whether it works or not. So we will say remove control. So here you will say let's make it 18 inch. And here we will have like add this, and let's remove the controls. So the controls are being deleted, but why? So here we have the form array, and for each control we are having the control name and the index, and we are saying if the control value is not there, then index to remove, like from the array we push that index, and after that we remove the element from the remove it here in the form array of Angular. Let's make it a little bit prettier. So here we can say the button should be like should not be visible, and here we can say like only the button should be add control button should be visible. So for that we will say like copy this, and you'll say ng template, and here we can say this is it, so it's not being added. So here let's make it so we will say here this form has controls of type name. So the form has no controls, so we can say boolean is equal to false, and here we can say this dot does form is equal to true, and we will show this does the copy this and paste it here. Let me check why it's not working. So we can use just the div here, and the controls are not there, so just we do that for psych. So we are getting that, and that the controls are only visible when we add the control. And so as you can see, these are all things happening. And this is how the dynamic form array or the form controls in Angular work. So the first thing we have to do is that we have to make a form group, and this will be a group of controls, like the array of controls which we want to add, like these are the controls. So we will make there may be the other methods of doing the same thing, but this is the method, like we have the getter method for getting the dynamic controls from the dynamic form group or the group, and we add the controls for each array, like we have added more than one control here inside the array. And we have the save data method which saves the data inside maybe the database, and we have the remove control which removes the control, like that these are the control, and the remove control method removes the control and the dynamically created controls. In the next video, we will see the next parts in Angular and how we can achieve those things. Thanks for watching the video, and stay tuned for more videos.